Hey everybody, it's Dr. Smith from Accomplished Health and Wellness here in lovely hot Lawrence, Kansas. And I have Heather, of course, from Free State Nutrition. And today we are going to tackle the topic of coffee and caffeine, right?
Yes.
We're gonna we do have tea here. And we were learning that tea has what did you say? 5 calories.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yes.
And so we're surprised at what this tea tastes like. What do you think? It's interesting.
It's interesting.
I grabbed two bags yesterday because I was like, oh, that cold tea was so
nice.
good.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna make it on yesterday, and so we'd have it. I put it in the fridge, and I just grabbed 2 bags and I put it in there, and then off I went. I don't know what it was.
And now it's mystery tea.
They're like in a baggie. I had them all. Oh, and they're touched by plastic.
Oh, jeez. Here we go.
Oh well, we tried.
At least it was cold though, right? It wasn't like hot.
And they were actually in their little paper folded, so they really didn't get touched.
No, I'm not worried
by the plastic. But as you can see here, I have my winter mug because I am so done with summer.
Channeling the cold weather, please.
I'm so done. I'm done with this hotness. Okay.
Yes. Anyway.
So, and then now we're going to talk about hot coffee.
Yes.
Or caffeine, right?
Could be cold coffee.
It could be because there's a lot of people that like those. What are they? Frappuccinos, cold.
Well, there's cold brew.
Yeah. So I don't drink coffee. I'm the tea drinker. She is the coffee, right? You like the coffee.
Mm-hmm.
But we got to learn a lot this week about coffee and caffeine. And we have a lovely article by your student.
Yes.
Her name is Emily, right?
Yep, Emily Winokur.
And we're going to post that. It's mainly about caffeine. Right?
Yes. Yeah, it's a little bit about both coffee and caffeine.
Yeah.
Mostly about caffeine.
Yeah. So we'll post that in our comments for you guys.
Yeah.
Because we love you all. All of our 5 followers. We love you. Anyways, okay, let's move on. So
I think
we're going to talk about caffeine.
Right. And there's she in her article she talks about that there's 60 different plants that have natural caffeine in them.
Who'd have thought?
I know. But there are 4 main ones that we think of. So there's the cola nut, which is
Coca-Cola?
where cola drinks get their flavor. There's the cocoa bean, of course, where we get our chocolate from. And then there's
that dark chocolate that you can justify eating every single day because it's got antioxidants in it too.
And it's delicious.
And now I can justify it because of the caffeine, because we have some good things with caffeine.
Yes, we do.
So
then there's the coffee bean, obviously.
Yeah.
And then there's tea leaves.
I can't do the coffee.
All right. So
have you ever had the coffee in your chili? Or no, maybe it's chocolate. Chocolate. Yeah, it's chocolate chili. Have you ever had that?
Chocolate in my chili?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
Yeah, there's this recipe that has chocolate powder that you put in the chili.
I wonder if it's more it ends up being like a mole sauce, because don't they put chocolate in there?
Do they?
I don't know. I had a roommate in college who liked to experiment with things, and he made some kind of crazy mole sauce, and it had chocolate. But I don't know if it usually does, or that's just what he did because he was an
adventurer. So yeah, anyway. I don't know. Anyways, okay, let's keep going. I bet you could do coffee in your chili too.
You probably could. You know what? Coffee in a lot of things.
I bet you that those cowboys in the old days when they were making chili, they were probably throwing their coffee in there. It's not enough water. Okay. What else?
Oh, and then there's other places, right? And there's tea, of course. And there's other places where you might get caffeine, supplements. You actually get caffeine pills, which is kind of nuts. And there's energy drinks, of course.
You can do that. And people do that in college and high school, and then they end up in the ER. Okay, people?
Be careful.
Because your heart is racing.
Right. Or energy drinks.
Yes. Those, what are they, 5 Life or whatever?
5-hour energy.
5-hour energy that takes 5 years off your life. Well, maybe it doesn't.
Maybe it doesn't. But, it's the problem is that they go down so easy and you're like, well, if one's good, two is going to be great.
Yeah. I'm actually digging this, whatever it is.
It's not bad.
I kind of like it.
Mystery tea.
Mystery tea.
And then, so energy drinks too. Another place to be careful, because if you go to a bar, they will sometimes make little, cocktails with them. So you've got your alcohol and your energy drink, your
That's
your
not a
caffeine.
good combination.
It's a bad scene. Yeah.
Plus you're peeing a lot.
Yeah, it's right. You got your depressant and your stimulant. Scary.
And you're peeing.
And then you've got your over-the-counter medications that sometimes have caffeine in them.
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, like Excedrin, for example. I mean,
yes.
Yeah.
Actually, to treat migraines, if you're pregnant and you can't take ibuprofen and stuff, actually, you can do Tylenol, caffeine, and Benadryl. Those three, and that works great. And or if say you go to the cabinet, you're like, oh my god, there's a knife stuck in my eyeball and I can't find any more Excedrin. You can do ibuprofen or Tylenol mixed with caffeine and Benadryl. You'll break your migraine.
That's cool.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yes. And the caffeine can be I usually do a swig of Coke. It doesn't take much.
Oh,
Yeah.
that isn't much.
Like this little bit.
Yeah.
Shot of Coke. Coca-Cola, that is.
Just to be clear.
Yeah. You could do Dr. Pepper. You could do coffee. You could do tea. It's just easier to open.
Sure.
It's the only reason I ever have Coke in my house. That and when my dad comes over, he loves Coke. Yeah.
Well, so that kind of brings up a good point of how much are we talking about in these different things? Because where's the thing? So Emily's got a nice little table in her blog of how much caffeine is different in different things, because there's a lot of misconceptions, I think, about that. So a cup of coffee, and this is a 5-ounce cup.
Oh wow.
Which is very small.
Yeah, usually we should talk about that actually before we go forward.
Yeah.
What is a cup of coffee? Right?
Right. I mean, in my world, a cup is 8 ounces.
That's what I've always
an
thought.
actual cup measure is.
Yeah. That's what I've always thought too.
Yeah.
8 ounces is 1 cup
of anything.
Of coffee.
Yeah.
Or of anything. Yeah. So that's what we're talking about when we're saying 1 cup or 2 cups or 3 cups of your daily. So it's not your travel mug.
Right. Or your grande venti, whatever.
This is not a cup.
It's not a cup.
It's a cup, but it's a cup. It's 20 ounces.
Actually. Yeah, they're usually around 20. So that's a few cups. So this is
plastic.
For whatever
I've got
reason.
to switch it out.
Nobody's judging you. It's okay.
I keep thinking that. Okay.
So this happens to be in 5-ounce servings for whatever reason. 60 to 150 milligrams of caffeine in 5 ounces. So there really is a range.
Oh man, could you imagine if you had 3 cups of coffee?
Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot.
That's a lot, and that's all your.
That's 450.
Yes, that's all your caffeine.
It's milligrams? Milligrams.
Mm-hmm.
450 milligrams of
Yes.
coffee. How much are you supposed to have in a day?
So 400 is. Yeah. You want to
man.
stop there. So
That's kind of a wide range. 60
it is. But if you go to Starbucks, I'm pretty sure Starbucks has a lot more caffeine.
150.
Yeah.
They're pushing 150.
I think so. But
and if you do the double shot thing that I hear you can do, I'm pretty sure that's 300.
Yes. But I've also heard that dark roast has less caffeine than the light roast, which doesn't, it's not intuitive, but true.
What about tea?
Tea, same thing, 5 ounces, 40 to 80. So obviously it depends how long you steep it for.
Sure.
But, so it could be similar to a cup of coffee.
This is probably 80 because
you steep it.
I let it sit there in that cup of water for 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now, a hot chocolate.
Oh, I love hot chocolate.
1 to 8 grams.
I don't really, right this second, I don't want to think about hot chocolate.
I know. I'm enjoying the cold tea.
Maybe in the future. So how much is
1 to 8 milligrams. So not a lot. That is not a source.
Interesting.
Yeah. And most candy bars too. I mean, it's milk chocolate. There's really
Yeah.
not a lot of caffeine happening.
Yeah, just like
Now,
sugar.
coffee ice cream has could have as much as like for in a cup, which is really like an amount somebody would eat. Even
Yeah.
though a portion is
Sure.
technically half a cup. But a reasonable amount someone might eat is a cup, 40 to 85.
Oh, wow. You know,
milligrams.
I have these little sundae bowls. They're like
Mhm.
little. There's two different ones, two different sizes. There's a small and I call it the small and the large. And the large might hold a cup,
Mhm.
and the small might hold a half a cup. So my mom actually got these at an auction. You know how you can go to an auction and you can buy a box,
Sure.
and you don't really know what's in it. So she paid, I don't know, $10 for a box, and there was probably 10 or 15 of these sundae dishes.
Okay.
She's like, what am I gonna do with all these? I'm like, I don't know. Why'd you buy the box? And she's like, cause I did.
It's a good deal.
So, anyways, I got them,
Okay.
and that's what I switched. I love ice cream.
Me too.
I love chocolate ice cream.
Yeah.
And chocolate, like in my house, this is what we say. Oh, that sounds so sad. Chocolate makes everything better. And so then we have a little piece of chocolate, just a little one.
Mm-hmm.
And we all feel better. But the ice cream does a lot better with that, actually. And so you can have a big bowl and a big butt, or you can have a little bowl and still get it, and your butt's not so big. So.
Well, chocolate ice cream only has
and apparently you get some caffeine.
2 to 5 milligrams for chocolate ice cream.
Oh, but you have to have like the coffee.
If you get coffee flavored ice cream,
do people eat that?
Yeah, it's delicious. Oh, so good. Well, chocolate in it, like chocolate flakes in a coffee ice cream. Oh, so good. But it's like eating a cup. It's like eating a cup of coffee. So I would never do it at night. Like,
yeah, you won't go to sleep.
No,
you'll be staring at the ceiling.
This is why afternoon is the right time to go get ice cream, so that I can get a coffee flake.
You know, sometimes when I'm having a bad day, I go home, and then I look around and make sure my kids aren't in the room, and I open up the freezer and I take it like 2 spoons of that ice cream. And then when I hear them, because they'll hear me.
Oh, I'm
they
sure.
hear the freezer opening, and my son comes.
I know what that is.
Ice cream. And like, no, dude.
No, nobody's eating
Mommy's
ice cream.
not eating ice cream. What are you talking about?
No, you totally heard wrong.
So that's actually interesting. I'm not getting so maybe some chocolate ice cream at bedtime.
Yeah, it's really fine. Like, it's not going to disturb your sleep the way like coffee or coffee ice cream or even a soda would.
Yeah.
Drink soda at night? Of course. People drink soda all day long.
You shouldn't drink soda, people. We should talk about that.
Sure, we can have soda.
We should add soda, and it's linked to all kinds of nastiness, including pancreatitis.
Well, let's talk about the side effects of too much caffeine, since
that's jitters.
Obviously a thing. Yes.
That's how I feel. And oh man, my heart races.
Yes. But also like headache, which is so weird because it's used to treat headache.
Sure.
And you can get a headache when you're withdrawing, but you can also get a headache from too much coffee.
Do you know what's interesting, actually, is that pain medicines can give you headaches. Did you know that? If you're taking ibuprofen or Tylenol on a regular basis and you start having headaches, it's because of the Tylenol or ibuprofen. And morphine, like they do that a lot in deliveries or just chronic, you know, like hospital pain.
Yes.
But that's actually a very common side effect. Severe headache. Can you imagine? You're getting your morphine and now your head's going to burst because you feel like it's,
It just doesn't
so that makes sense to me, actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So then you've got increased blood pressure too.
Yes,
just temporarily.
Do you know, and actually, the increased blood pressure is temporary, but it's also usually temporary in your lifetime too. So if you start to drink coffee regularly, oftentimes it doesn't do that over time. But you might be the unlucky schmuck that actually carries on with high blood pressure. So there you go. That's why we always are going to say, oh, you're having caffeine? you should probably stop that if your blood pressure is high, because you might be the unlucky schmuck that is getting it from the caffeine
Yeah.
for the rest of your life.
Right. We just
Sorry.
don't know. I mean, it could be from the sodium or not either. That's a whole
Could
other
be.
thing.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
you
yeah.
just don't know. So you always have to
Yeah.
err on the side of caution.
Yeah.
So sleeplessness, of course, right? With
Right.
too much
Because it's
caffeine.
stimulant.
Because it's stimulant. Or not even if it's too much, but if you have it too late in the day.
Oh, yeah.
Right. So
Sure.
really, I mean, me personally, like 3, 4 o'clock is really the cutoff. Like that is danger zone past 4 o'clock for any
I'm one of
caffeine.
those lucky people. I can fall asleep.
Wow.
I am like,
Some people are like that.
head hits the pillow, I'm out. Yeah.
Nice for you.
I know.
Must be nice.
I'll probably be one of those old ladies, though, that's like up all night doing puzzles because I can't sleep.
Yeah, old. Like you're gonna be in your like 50s or something.
Yeah.
That's not old people.
No,
No.
I was talking more like my 80s.
I know, but
90s.
really, like people in their 40s, 50s are the ones having that trouble.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, you really want to be careful about.
That's not old at all.
No, it's not. Thank you. If you are sensitive to caffeine, it could make it could either make it hard to fall asleep, or sometimes you fall asleep and then you wake up later and you're like, well, I couldn't get the caffeine because I fell asleep. No, it can just mess you up all night long.
It can. Yes, it can definitely do that. And when you drink it at nighttime, it takes like 20 minutes actually to kick in. So you might fall asleep and then you wake up because that's when it kicked in.
Right. No, but speaking of which, I don't know if we're going to get to this as part of the benefits, but like power naps with coffee.
Oh, yes.
That's a thing.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Drink your coffee.
And then you take your nap. And 20 minutes later, it wakes you up.
Isn't that brilliant?
It is so brilliant. Yeah. I learned that actually. You can learn things from everybody. I love to pick things up from everybody. And actually, one of my patients, who's a professor, he was telling me about that. So props to, and it makes so much sense.
It does.
Why didn't I think of that? Now I know.
Yes.
So I do tell people that. Also, reflux. Oh, man. The burning. It's a burning.
So that's another one of those things. If you have reflux,
you probably should cut off the caffeine.
Yeah. But I've also heard, is it the caffeine or is it just the acidity of some people do cold brew coffee because it's less acidic.
I don't know. There you go. You could try switching it over to cold brew.
Yeah.
I like cold brew something.
Just the way you would make tea. Like you just put it in the water overnight and then you strain it.
Interesting. There you go.
Coffee. Yeah.
Okay.
Nausea and vomiting, apparently, for too much caffeine.
Yeah, and that also goes along with your reflux. Yeah. Because you can get bad reflux that you vomit. So, yeah. Did we talk about the peeing all night long?
No, that's the thing. For real.
That might be also something that wakes you up.
Yes.
Actually, whenever I am talking to people about what their sleep is like and stuff, that's one thing I always ask them. How many times do you get up? So.
Yes, indeed.
Because that's always waking people up.
Right.
That dang bladder.
It's a pain. Then if you're certain people, you can't get back to sleep because now the brain is thinks it's time to wake up and mull over stuff.
Oh gosh, no mulling.
Yeah, it's trouble. So long-term consequence of caffeine potentially could be, increased risk of osteoporosis because it does affect calcium absorption.
Yeah.
So you really want to make sure you're don't take your calcium pills with your coffee.
Or even within an hour.
Yeah.
You want to let it get absorbed first.
Right. Or your calcium, foods like milk and yogurt and stuff. Have it at a separate time of your coffee, and then it won't be an issue.
Yeah. Yeah, I like it. Yeah. So what about
the good news?
Yeah, there's actually a lot of good news with coffee, really. Some of it has to do with caffeine, but mainly coffee. So
that's because researchers drink coffee.
This is so true. They have to, so they can stay up and do their study and write their 1,000-page paper that somebody picks over, and then it's like, oh, are you sure about this? Not that I've been.
No, you don't have any experience with that.
So anyways, diabetes, coffee and diabetes. So coffee actually, I don't know. Hold on. We have someone banging on the door. Maybe it's for Casey. He's my new sweet.
He's not here.
But he's not here, so I don't know. Anyways, anyways, coffee. This is interesting. Coffee actually increases the plasma levels of a protein called sex hormone binding globulin.
Whoa.
Yeah, and so that actually controls the actions of estrogen and testosterone.
Okay.
And they are linked with insulin sensitivity.
Cool.
Yeah, and so what happens, and so insulin sensitivity obviously is linked to type 2 diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
So when you increase your coffee drinking, you can decrease your diabetes risk. And it's like each cup a day
Mm-hmm.
that you are drinking, it gives you a 7% decrease in your risk of type 2 diabetes.
That's fantastic.
Isn't that interesting?
Yeah,
And I think it's interesting that it's linked to the sex hormone binding globulin.
definitely.
Yeah, so coffee and sex binding
Figure
globulin.
that out. That is cool.
Right? I mean, who really did figure that out?
Brilliant.
So
Yeah, so diabetes, that's a huge one. And then, like, I don't know, heart disease, does it actually help, or does it just not harm?
You know, okay, so it actually, they have said that it does not decrease your risk of heart disease, right?
So
it does not, I'm sorry. It does not increase your risk of heart disease. I mean, that's what you would be worried about with the high blood pressure and stuff.
Right.
But it does not increase your risk of heart disease. So that's good, right?
Yes.
It also can decrease your risk of stroke by 20%.
Right.
Yeah, which is so cool. And like we also said, it can increase your risk of, or it can increase your blood pressure, but that's short-lived.
Yeah.
And over your lifetime, you know, if you become the regular coffee drinker, it's usually short-lived, but maybe sometimes not.
Okay.
Also, it can also decrease your risk of heart failure. So, okay, people, let's just say, when we're talking about heart failure, it does not mean your heart stopped and failed you, okay? What it means is that your heart isn't pumping right. The pump is failing, and so fluid backs up everywhere because you can't pump the blood, okay? But coffee can decrease your risk of heart failure, 11%. That's pretty good.
That is very good.
Yeah. So really, you know, when it comes to the heart, it's not so bad.
Right.
So, hey,
That's awesome.
yeah, I thought so too.
Hooray for coffee.
Yeah. Right. So there you go for your coffee drinkers.
Cool. So let's talk about depression.
Oh yeah. Depression. So this was done in women, right? And so women drinking greater than or equal to 4 cups of coffee decrease their risk of depression by 20%.
Wow.
But that's a lot of cups of coffee. But maybe it isn't, because a lot of people are drinking those like 16 ounce, you know, to go cups of coffee.
Right.
And they do have 2. So maybe that's not a lot.
Right.
But it does decrease, probably because it stimulates your brain and you're like more active. And so you're going to do more things and you're going to get some more vitamin D. And, you know, that's kind of what I'm thinking. But it also, this was huge, decrease your risk of suicide attempts by 50%.
That's amazing.
Yeah, maybe that's what we should be giving people that are depressed. Coffee.
Right.
This could be our new treatment plan.
I mean, that's pretty significant.
Yeah.
50%.
That's good. And 20% with depression. I mean, that's not to say that it treats depression. All right. We aren't.
Yes, a little disclaimer.
We aren't going to say that. But maybe somebody should do a study on that.
Right.
You know?
Maybe it works, you know, complementary to
Other
meds. I mean, especially when somebody like in teens, they showed when they start meds that sometimes the suicide attempts increase.
Yeah,
so
up.
maybe you
Black
add
box.
some caffeine and maybe it would it wouldn't be so
decrease.
scary for parents to put their
Yeah.
kids on these
Or maybe
meds.
they could do some like coffee first. Maybe if
Maybe.
it's mild.
Right,
I mean,
if it's mild.
obviously if it's bad,
Yes,
it's not
depends.
gonna, yeah, no. But that might be an option, maybe. I don't know. Somebody should do a study on that.
Definitely. Somebody
Um,
out there, get on it.
Yeah, right. Also, interesting enough, with Parkinson's and Alzheimer's disease. So
Mhm.
those are pretty common forms of dementia when you get older. And this actually is linked. So a lot of the studies were done with coffee. And is it the coffee or the caffeine that's doing it? But
Right.
they couldn't really say that. So we say coffee.
Yeah.
But this actually is from the caffeine. Okay,
Mhm.
so the caffeine intake is associated with a significantly lower rate of both Parkinson's and Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And with Parkinson's, it's like 30 to 60%. And with Alzheimer's, it's 65%.
Wow.
Yeah, that's good.
That's really big.
I wish I liked coffee because I might start drinking it just for that.
Yes. But you know, we talked about tea, like our very first
Yes.
Facebook Live, and we did talk about tea and the benefits of tea. So
yes, and I do like tea.
So, you know, just note to self if
Yeah.
you're like bumming out.
And
that
that
you
one
don't like
actually
coffee.
is from caffeine, so I can get that from
Yes, you
from
can
the
get
tea.
that one easy.
Yeah. But also with coffee,
Mhm.
coffee, not the caffeine, but the coffee, back to coffee. Coffee actually will help with the movement disorder part of Parkinson's.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Mhm.
Because you think of jitteriness, right?
Mm.
But Parkinson's is already jittery, but it can calm the
Wow.
movement. Like, and they stumble. They like have this very classic shuffling gait.
Mhm.
And so yeah, because probably because it's a stimulant, and so your brain is actually turned on, so they're kind of their gait is better.
Wow.
Kind of cool.
Mhm. Definitely.
Yeah, and then also cancers, right?
Mhm.
Cancers.
Yeah, that's huge.
So there's a decrease with your coffee consumption, a decreased risk of both liver cancer
Mhm.
and colorectal cancer, and I think actually I also read about ovarian or uterine, maybe.
I know I've seen like for mouth cancers too.
Yeah,
I know about it. Well,
I think it was. Oh, I lost it. It was one of those other cancers, but anyways, definitely for liver cancer, which is kind of interesting because you're thinking of how it's processed, right? And so it's going to go through the liver.
yeah.
But it actually decreases your liver cancer risk by 40%. And some studies say that like the more that you drink, your risk is even less. And so if you do like 3 cups of coffee a day, it goes to 50%.
Wow.
For liver cancer.
Yeah.
For colorectal cancer, it's only 15%. So if you had to drink like 4 to 5 cups, I don't know if that's worth it. Maybe if you're depressed
Right.
and you have a family history of colorectal cancer. But there's still a little decrease. So that's, it's there. But then also, it has a lot of antioxidants in it, right? So there was this great study done in women and men, sorry, both men and women, and it was looking at their decreased risk of death, which I think is so funny because we're all gonna die, right? How do we decrease our risk of death? Okay, so what they did was they did an observation study. And they looked at a period of 18 to 24 years. And so that's what they were saying was the decreased risk of death in that 18 to 24 years. So in the next 20 years, what's your risk of death, right? So in the next 20 years, we shouldn't die, realistically.
Okay.
Our life expectancy is at least 75 years. So we shouldn't die. So in that study, they found that there was a 20% decreased risk for men and a 26% for women. Yeah, in that like 18 to 24 period. And this was the greatest thing. It was especially strong in people that had type 2 diabetes. It was 30% lower.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's pretty big. So there you go. I think that's all good. Yeah. So what do? I guess you can drink some more coffee or tea.
Right. But you do have to, watch the amount. The FDA does recommend 400 milligrams or less.
400.
Some people are just more sensitive to caffeine than others. Some people can't even drink one cup. And they're all jittery and crazy.
That's actually why, well, I love the smell of coffee, but it has so much caffeine in it that I get jittery, but I don't like the taste either. So it's not worth I can even do like coffee in desserts. I can taste it.
Wow.
Or coffee in just like yogurt or something, where you get this mild flavor. I can always taste it, and it's like, but I like the taste, so I'm good.
You're good. Yeah. So the other thing is, if you're thinking maybe I should cut down a little because I'm, drinking a couple of these
a lot, and you think that's going to cause you a heart attack,
go slow. Okay,
Yeah.
because withdrawal is a real thing. It is addictive. You are addicted to caffeine.
And you get dependent.
Yes.
Okay, so addiction and dependence are two different things, right? So,
yes.
Addiction is where you're like constantly thinking about it. How am I going to get that? And dependence is where your body actually will go through withdrawals if you don't have it.
Yes. Yes. And so there's ways to address both of those things. So with the withdrawal from the dependence, you have to go slowly.
Wean yourself.
Otherwise, you're going to have the headaches. You're going to be drowsy. You're going to be cranky. Not that fun to be around. No. And then to handle the addiction part, you can go to decaf. You can just
or half. You
half
can mix
half, right?
Half decaf.
You could get a smaller serving. Instead of whatever the biggest one is. Is it the Venti?
Oh gosh, I don't even know.
Go down to a smaller size. Make less coffee. Sometimes it's just a matter of you make a pot and you drink it
because it's there. You don't want to waste
less.
it. Yeah, there you go.
Kind of just depends on what your situation is.
So,
but the good news is coffee is apparently awesome for us. So keep on drinking it.
So there you go. It's a super drink.
It is.
So you can drink it.
Yeah.
But maybe you don't drink it if you get some of those other things that we talked about today.
Yes. Yes.
So what's our next topic? What should we do?
Well, what did we just say we were going to add to our? Sounds like, I should write that down.
Yeah.
I forget what it was.
We'll have to think about it.
Yeah.
But we have healthy at every size.
Yeah. That's that would be, I think that'd be really interesting.
Yeah.
Is a whole movement, health at every size, and not everybody's on board with it. So we should talk about what does it mean
to be healthy at every size.
Yeah. And
because there is
the pros and cons
actually a healthy at every size.
Yeah.
Right. Not everyone falls into the Weight Watchers box.
Right.
Just saying.
Yeah. So I think that'd be really interesting to kind of weigh that out. What are the implications of it? Why does it even exist? And maybe looking at weight bias a little bit in the
I like it.
Healthcare field.
Oh, I think we can do it.
In 20 minutes or less, we got this.
Or 30.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, we'll do it. So
cool.
Healthy at every size next week, people. And we're going to think about that other one that we thought we should add because it was a good topic.
It was a great idea, whatever it was.
And then if you guys have any questions about coffee or caffeine, please don't hesitate to ask. And just remember, you can find our videos anywhere if you missed it today.
And thanks to Emily Winokur for her blog post and research.
And we're going to put that on our website and also on here.
Yes.
So that you guys can see that and read that nice article that she put together. And you can see some of those other caffeine tables and stuff. Yeah. And we hope that you have a lovely rest of your week. It's supposed to start to get cooler. I am hoping it stays. And have a great rest of your day, guys. Thanks for watching.